Welcome to Dubbzi Bricks for the first Q&A video on the channel here. About a month or so ago, I asked if there were any questions that you guys would like answering. I did ask a question about a week ago as well, for those people who missed it the first time around, and I've had a fantastic selection of questions come through, and I will be answering every single one of them. So thank you very much for sending those questions through to me. And the first question comes from Alternate Bricks. Which is your favourite project so far you've done? I've loved every project I've completed so far, but I have to pick Jabba's Palace. It was a close call between that and Mandalore, but the challenge of the shapes involving Jabba's Palace just gave it the edge over Mandalore. Cody7449 asks, which Batman movie or series is your favourite and who is your favourite Batman villain? The Dark Knight trilogy for me were perfect. I absolutely loved them, so I would say they're my favourite. I did love the more recent The Batman that came out with Robert Pattinson. I felt that had a different feel to it and really did enjoy that. Villains-wise, it has to be the Joker, especially Heath Ledger's version of that. I thought he played the role absolutely amazingly. It's amazing how much different films can make you feel about different characters. I never thought that much about Bane previously, but after watching The Dark Knight Rises, I thought Bane was absolutely fantastic. I thought Hardy did a brilliant job of portraying Bane as well. Pollock Production asks, I know you've done a lot of Star Wars and Batman projects, but do you plan to do any other MOCs or buildings and vehicles from franchises like Marvel or any other DC projects like the Justice League? I would love to see your take on some iconic vehicles and buildings like the Hall of Justice, Daily Planet, the Luthor Tower and possibly Apocalypse, which would also be awesome to see. Also, another side question for your members, would you consider putting figures of your members in Gotham City? It would be a cool way for the members to spot their Lego selves in your videos. I have a whole host of future MOCs I would love to make one day from other themes, such as Ninjago. I want to do medieval dragons, mechs, pirate ships, all sorts of things. When I first decided to do a city, it wasn't going to be Gotham. It was just going to be a custom Lego city. And I did want it to have an Avengers Tower. So maybe I will do that one day and have all of the buildings in there that Gotham has prevented me from adding. I have been thinking about doing shorter build series, so could potentially do things like the Daily Planner as one of those builds. Regarding adding sig figs to see, 100%. If anybody at all would like to add their minifigure to Gotham City, whether you're a member of the channel or not, just drop me an email at dubzibricks22@gmail.com and I'll tell you how to go about doing so. Jacob Anthony 97 asks, in the politest way possible, what job do you work where you're able to spend this time and money on Lego, and where do I apply? You're living the dream. Julius asks, how do you manage your time? Do you have a full-time job beside this? How are you funding all of this? All your own money or other side hustles, for example, buy, sell sets? Thanks, Jacob Anthony 97 and Julius. I hope I pronounced that correctly. I spend every spare minute I can in the Lego room. I'm an early riser, so I'm normally out there by 7 AM. Any spare time I have, I'm in there. I don't have a full-time job, so that does allow me more time to build Lego. I used to own my own business and sold that off during COVID, but during that time, I purchased a lot of Lego sets for investment purposes, only when they were on sale. So now I've got those sets, I'm selling those to help finance these builds. I am hoping I will soon have enough Lego bricks that I don't need to purchase any more Lego in the future. That would be fantastic. Or it's certainly going to be the case after I've finished building the Tantiff and Gotham. Work-wise, I'm fortunate that I don't have to work full-time anymore. I do some freelance work here and there. So sometimes it might be woodwork, sometimes it's tiling, really depends on what jobs come in. Lego Man 123 asks, what inspired you to build your own Gotham City? I never initially planned to build Gotham. When I first decided I wanted to do a YouTube channel, it was going to be a Star Wars Lego channel. However, I wanted a channel that I thought had the potential to last a long time. I was concerned that Star Wars Lego would potentially start to lose steam once everybody's built everything. I thought, where'd you go from there? So I thought a city would always have a following. You can always make a unique city. The plan, as mentioned, was originally just going to be a custom city with a Batcave. However, it soon became apparent that the Batcave was going to be too big for my city. It was taking up a sixth of the area and it just didn't look proportionately correct. So I decided to make that a standalone MOC, and then I thought I'd do the city afterwards. The subscribers on my channel appear to be DC Batman fans, so I thought it'd be unique to make a custom Gotham City. I couldn't find anybody else out there that was doing a build series like that, so I thought, let's do that. And that's how we come about doing Gotham. Richard JCW asks, and your next project? Dark and mysterious medieval castle MOC? Imagine an amazing medieval MOC with a similar feel to your Gotham. definitely there is a medieval castle MOC and a dragon. 100% is a future MOC that I want to make. I've already got a rough idea of what I want it to look like. It's just a case of finding the space for it in the Lego room, and then just working out how I go about doing so. So that is one you will see on the channel in the future. Dan Morris 5324 asks, what are your future plans for MOCs? I've noticed a Song of Ice and Fire on your bookshelf before, and would love to see some from the world. Thanks for all your awesome content. Thank you so much, Dan Morris 5324. I have 6 or 7 MOCs I'm planning at the moment or considering. With some MOCs, such as Mandalore, the minifigures can cause you a lot of problem. The expense that you have to outlay on the minifigures. With Mandalore, it was the Darth Maul Mandalorians. I only managed to get, I think it was 4 of them. They were so expensive. I was have to buy the speeder to get them if I wanted them brand new. I did reach out to a custom company, never even heard back from them, which was a shame because they had some really cool looking figures. But yeah, I want to make sure that I can get the figures off of the shelf. I don't want to have to go on the secondary market to get them, so I want to know that I can get them in large quantities should I need to do so. Like with the tantiff, you've got the hallway set, so I'm able to get as many fleet troopers and stormtroopers that I need. Now, out of the 6 or 7 MOCs that I'm planning at the moment, 3 of them are Star Wars builds. They're all from the original trilogy. I'm not going to tell you what all 3 of them are, but one of them is Endor, and unless Lego bring out some more Ewoks, the only Ewok I own at the moment is Wicket, then obviously that one will be scrubbed off of the list. A medieval build with dragons and castles is something I'm definitely going to be doing, and Game of Thrones is one of my favourite TV series of all time, so I would definitely want that build to have a Game of Thrones feel about it. It won't be actually of Game of Thrones, but there are a couple of locations in there which I really do like, and it'll be cool to sort of like use a little bit of the style from those in my build. So yeah, that's one that you will definitely be seeing here on the channel. A futuristic city is another build that I want to do. I recently saw New Hashima, or a version of it, at Bricktastic in Manchester this year, and I was blown away by it. I thought it was absolutely fantastic. And with New Hashima, there's a set template that you use. You have to do your building on. That way, loads of people can collaborate together, and you can stick all the buildings next to each other. So I will be using that template, as I think that's a good way that I know that I can keep adding to it should I wish to do so. And there's one other build, but I can't give you any hints on that. You'll just have to wait and see what that is. Axel TWW asks, which actor's portrayal of Batman / Bruce Wayne do you like the most and why? Great question. Although the Dark Knight trilogy is my favourite, and I thought Christian Bale was brilliant as Batman, I think Robert Pattinson's portrayal of Batman Bruce Wayne was my favourite. I thought he was a lot grittier, darker, and yeah, so Robert Pattinson for me. Tyrone asks, will you do any live stream, so we can all see the man behind the hands? Great channel. Thanks, Tyrone. Yes, I will do a live stream one day. Not sure when. There's no plans to do it anytime soon, but it is something I will definitely be doing in the future. Brick by Brick 56 asks, are you planning on doing a face reveal? If not, that's fine. It's not something I've been that bothered about doing, but I'll tell you what, I'll do one at Christmas unless I hit 10,000 subs or have a new video that is 100,000 views beforehand. So whatever happens first, that's when I'll do the face review. So yeah, let's say Christmas. Carsten T says, will you take any of your Batman MOCs to conventions? I hadn't planned on taking any there in the past. However, due to the fact they are freestanding, there's nothing stopping me from doing so. So I could quite easily make up some temporary base plates to sort of like finish the detail off around them. So yeah, that is something I very well may do in the future. Mixed Brick asks, great idea, Dubs, love your channel. As you know, my question is, what build do you keep built and what will you break down? And will it be because of space or because you want to use the parts? Thanks, Mike, much appreciated. I did originally plan to keep the tantiff in one piece. However, due to it getting larger in size, I'll probably break it down after I've finished exhibiting it, unless someone like M&R fancies buying it off me. I do want to have a tantiff on display in my Lego studio, so I'm probably going to make one about half the size of that, but it won't have any interior on it, just so it's a display piece. I'm going to probably break all my MOCs down, and the only one that's got a chance of surviving is the Onyx Cinder. I've yet to make something I'm 100% happy with, but things like Gotham Gotham, they use so much space and bricks, and people were sort of like devastated when I destroyed Jabba's palace. But I have to appreciate that Lego is a very expensive hobby, and I can't just afford to have hundreds and hundreds of pounds worth of Lego just sat there collecting dust just as a display piece there, when you've got so many projects you really want to get built. So yeah, at the moment all of them are going to be destroyed, with the exception possibly of the Onyx Cinder. Question from @Richard JCW asks, how long will you keep your Gotham MOC once it's complete? Once it's completed and I've finished filming all of the videos for it, I'll be taking Gotham straight down so I can prepare for the next project. I will need all the bricks and the space. The Lego City is taking up too much space in the Lego room at the moment. There's so much I want to do in this room that, yeah, that will need to come down straight away. Jack Cooper asks, grand total, how much will the tantiff cost? I imagine it won't be easy to work out, but it'd be interesting to know. This is a question that I know my wife doesn't want to know the answer to, and I can honestly say I have no idea. It's so hard to tell what parts were already in my collection, and it also depends on what route I take. For example, with the engine covers on the tantiff, they could cost me €120 to cover, or if I won the lottery, it would cost €900 to cover. So there's so many decisions I've yet to make with the build. I purchased €700 worth of Technic bricks earlier in the year, and that was for both this and the Onyx Cinder, so I don't know what portion I've used on it. I've purchased, I think, 8 corridor sets so far, and I know I'm going to have to get a few more. I think the only way that I'm going to be able to give a better idea of this is once I finish building it, I can weigh the build. When you go to the Lego factory in Germany, they charge you, I think it's €11 for 100 grams. So if I could calculate it that way, that'd be probably the only way that I could possibly give an idea of how much the build has cost or would cost. Beaker Bricks 1963 asks, how many minifigures are there going to be in Gotham City? As many as possible. City minifigures are something that I have very few of at the moment, and I'm trying to get more and more as I go along. A city this side is going to need several hundred minifigures in there, so yeah, I don't want it to look like the streets are empty. If I'm doing a nighttime scene, then you are just going to have the villains out and people robbing people here and there. That's one thing, but I do want to do videos of daytime as well as nighttime, so yeah, a few hundred minimum. 24-hour Bricks asks, how and where did you learn your Lego techniques to make Gotham and the Batcave, etc. look so clean and detailed? Thank you very much @24-hour Bricks. Not sure. I guess I'm more practical than I am academic. I struggled at school massively, but I've always been able to create things from scratch, and making Lego sets can be really helpful as well. But I've still got so much more to work on. When I see some of the shapes and angles that people like Rich Boy J achieve, it just blows my mind. So yeah, there's so many sort of like techniques I want to learn. You only have to go to somewhere like Bricktastic and you see what other people have achieved, and you think, wow, I've got so much more that I need to be working on, different style wise. And Gotham is going to be a true test of that, doing all of the smaller details on there. That's where a MOC really sort of like starts to show how good it is. And that's one of the things I'm really looking forward to doing on my channel. Mortigun1451 asks, how much Lego do you own and how long have you been collecting Lego? Also, have you seen the leaked images of the new Death Star UCS and what do you think of it? I did get the first Star Wars sets that came out, like Luke's Land Speeder, the X-Wing, Darth Maul's Infiltrator. I stupidly sold them. I guess I started collecting again probably about 6 years ago. I do have a nice selection of Lego. I'm very fortunate. I've got a great stock for investment purposes. I bought the majority of it when it was on sale, when I had more disposable income. I am selling them now to help finance the channel until the channel earns enough so I don't have to do that. But I also do have a really fantastic backlog of sets to build yet. I can't wait to start building them, but I need to find somewhere to display them first. I want to put them in a display case so they don't get covered in dust. But when that day comes, I'm just going to have a great time building those. And I may very well, when I get to that stage, that might be when I start live streaming, so I can start building these older classic sets, as I like to think of them. Regarding the UCS Death Star, great question. I think it looks a lot better than what I was expecting. I think they've done a great job with it. However, I do think it could have been a lot better. I watched a video the other day by M&R Productions, and he did point something out which I thought was a very valid point. Now, with the recent Juggernaut, or the Tiny Tank as people are calling it, people were complaining that it was working out at, say, 20 pence or 20 cents a piece. However, if you look at the Death Star, you're getting it for about 11 cents per piece. Now, people are always saying that 10 cents per piece is what Lego should be charging. And people have been saying that for the last 5, 6, 7, 8 years or whatever. And obviously you've got to take into account inflation. So you are pretty much, with the Death Star, at the price per piece that people say is acceptable. So he did bring out a valid point. Why are people saying it is not value for money when the price per piece is what people are prepared to pay. So that was a very valid point. But for me, it's too much money to drop in one go on one Lego set for something I don't think looks as good as it could have done. But hopefully I will get it one day and have it on display. But it'll have to be on a significant sale in order for me to purchase it. Leonardo P4603 asks, do you have a relative time frame when Gotham City will be complete, or do you think it'll be an ongoing Batman concept? That project will be always evolving over time. I'm hoping to have Gotham completed within a couple of years, I reckon. To be honest, I could spend the next 20 years evolving the city. I could improve techniques here and there. So if there was a building I wasn't happy with, I could just destroy it and redo it. So yeah, it is something you could spend the rest of your life. Problem is, there's so many other things I want to build, and I need the space to enable me to build them. If money wasn't an issue, if my channel went viral or I won the lottery and I could have a larger Lego room, then I would keep Gotham and I'll carry on working on it. I mean, just imagine if I had the resources and the space that Bricksy's got, for example. You just imagine the Gotham City, the size of Bricksy City. That would just be the ultimate dream come true. Better go and buy a lottery ticket. David Fisher 5507 asks, what were your hopes when you started your YouTube channel? Has it grown quicker than expected? I always loved the idea of becoming a full-time content creator, and hopefully one day I will get to that stage. Building Lego is something I just can't get enough of. There's not been a single day when I've not wanted to be in the Lego room and building. If I could become a full-time content creator, that would be a dream come true. If I could actually make a living out of doing this sort of thing. I've been blown away by how the channel's grown. I never expected to be this close to 10,000 subscribers this quickly, and I can't thank you guys enough for your continued support. It really does mean so much to me. I love sharing my creations with you guys and taking you on the full journey of the build. Hence, you've seen the rebuilds. Whenever I make a mistake, I think it's really good to show you guys where I've gone wrong and how I'm going to go forward with it all. I think it's a nicer journey. This year has been fantastic with the subscriptions going up. I think one day I think it was 326 new subscribers in a day, which for me was absolutely amazing, and the feeling was unreal. And I just can't wait to carry on trying to grow the channel. The Lego community, the visit my channel, you guys are the best. The love of the brick and the passion is second to none. So yeah, thank you to everybody that visits the channel and drops a comment and things like that. The Comics Will ask, what do you do outside of content creation? And also, what do you plan on building after the Onyx Cinder and Tantiff? Loving the content, keep up the good work. Thank you so much, The Comics Will. Apart from the freelance work that I mentioned, I'm still renovating my house. I used to play golf, haven't played for a few years now. Can't wait to dust the cobwebs off of the clubs and get out on the course with Mrs. Dubbzi Bricks. I started teaching her how to play a few years ago, and then we moved, and neither of us have picked the club up since. So yeah, we're really looking forward to getting back into that hobby. I'm also a massive Formula One fan, so everything stops the second the Formula One's on the TV. Yeah, can't get enough of that either. Paradox Studio asks, what Lego set holds a special place in your heart? For me, it's the Imperial flagship. Great choice. That's a classic set there. There are two sets for me. One is an old classic space set number 6950, which was a mobile rocket launcher. And it was one of those sets that I didn't actually have initially, and I spent all my time trying to create it with the pieces that I had. And then one Christmas I was fortunate enough to get it, and yeah, I absolutely love that set. And I really do want to make a modern version of it one day using the latest elements, etc. So that's definitely going to be a future MOC on the channel. Another set that is very special to me is the UCS 8080, and I haven't even built it yet. I purchased it the second it came out, as I've got such fond childhood memories of the 8080. It holds a special place in my heart, and yeah, I just can't wait to build that set. And I've got to do a nice cool Hoff surround to display it on. SW0578 says, not really a question, but I didn't care for the skeleton crew, but I'm still watching your series on the ship because your content is good. Thank you so much, SW0578. Comments like this really do mean so much to me. When people are watching something that they're not passionate about or not a massive fan of, but they like what you're doing with the bricks, it blows me away. And I'm so grateful for you guys spending the time watching that content and leaving comments, etc. It really does mean a lot to me, so thank you. I'm with you. I wasn't a massive fan of the skeleton crew. I did enjoy it, but I wasn't blown away by it. But I loved the ship. I thought the ship looked so cool. One final question I remember reading, but can't find it anywhere, so apologies to whoever put the question forward to me, was, am I happy with my new Lego room? I will be doing a Lego room tour very, very soon. I just need to sort a few things out in here because it's a little bit of a bomb site at the moment. But yeah, I love the Lego room. I do wish I had done it slightly differently and made the Gotham table smaller. It would have been really nice to have had a display cabinet in here to put my Lego sets on display rather than just being in boxes, which is what the case is at the moment. So I think once I've got Gotham all finished and I've dismantled Gotham, I will be changing the room a fair bit in preparation for the future projects. So yeah, it's going to be big changes in the Lego room. Anyway, that's all the questions answered. Thank you so much for putting those questions forward. I really enjoyed answering them. If you have enjoyed this video and you would like to see more content like this in the future, please pop it in the comments below so that I know to do this again. Anyway, as I said, hope you've enjoyed the video. If you have, please remember to give us a big thumbs up. If you haven't already done so, please consider subscribing to the channel and hit the notification bell so you don't miss any future content on the channel. Massive thank you to the members of the channel. Your memberships really do help with the building of all the projects I do on the channel. And if anybody else would like to become a member, you will find a link in the description of the video. But I really do appreciate all the views, all the comments. You guys are all fantastic. Anyway, thanks for popping on by, and I'll see you next time. Bye for now.